everybody, it's Todd Ault. This is Risk On. It's the 18th of April, 2022, the day we announced our earnings and audit for a BitNile. We did it on Friday. It was a weird holiday because it was Good Friday, and it was the day that the SEC was still open, Jason.
Yep.
I'm with here, my buddy Jason Bartholomew. What's up, Jason?
Good to be back.
Yeah, but it was good to be back. Skyla's here. You're in the house, too. What's up, Skyla?
Hi.
All right. That's a weird hi. I am not in a bad mood today, someone said online. I'm in a great mood, actually. But I did have this weird experience where I traveled to the Cayman Island, and everyone thought, well, maybe he's on vacation, and I did flash a couple pictures of the beach. But normally I don't go to an international country except for England when I go check out MTIX or England. What's wrong with me? Israel when I check out Enertech. I went to the Cayman Islands and worked every day, all day.
Yeah.
Every day. And Skyla kept texting me my schedule.
I did.
And it was one meeting after another. I don't know if you know this, but in the Cayman Islands, they have insurance down there.
They do.
Pretty difficult to get insurance for Bitcoin miners.
That's pretty, for
It
sure.
is. It is. It's expensive, costs a lot of money. Anyways, Google Todd scams.
What the heck? Google Todd Ault scams.
Can we do that? Because I don't know of any. Are you aware of any that actually happened? I love these people. Google Todd Ault scams. I've never been arrested, knock on wood. I've never, ever been sued for anything that wasn't civil, where we had a disagreement.
Right.
So I got in some civil dispute because I try to take over companies people sue you. Of
course.
I've never had anything that anyone ever sued me for always ended up settling for far less because it was a nuisance. So I just don't know what you're talking about. It just doesn't. What they're saying doesn't make any sense. And I shouldn't. Oh, fine, $600,000. Show me that. I'd love to see where that is. That's a lie too. Anyways, can we block that guy? The guy who's saying that stuff. Just get rid of him. I'll move on. This is episode 210. After a brief hiatus, we took a week off, and wow, we're here.
Yeah. Well,
right?
There's a lot to be done still, but
it's a weird show.
It is.
I'm reading from a teleprompter. I'm getting moved. But before we move on, we went to the Long Beach Grand Prix last week. Do we have a video or something? Oh, nice.
I really liked that.
Oh my God, the Long Beach Grand
there.
Prix was incredible.
Yeah.
I loved it. And Connor did well.
He did.
He did well. So did Renus. But I was particularly happy to see Connor do well.
They were 12 and 13.
I know. He had a couple where he almost crashed, right? And he saved it. If we have a video, can we check it out?
Very, very interesting the way that it can play out.
Well, BitNile is a family. Obviously, a lot of companies say that, but we actually live it. We're going down, we're doing 130 miles an hour. It looks like we're going to hit the wall, and then there's a left-hand turn. And we just full speed into the left-hand turn. Dude, that was insanity. Dude, that was insanity. Like I was in this car, I'm thinking, okay, this will be fast. He was 140 miles an hour down the straightaway, into the turn at 140, on the gas, all the way, into the turns, braking hard. It was insanity. I thought it was gonna be like, oh, we'll be in the pace car, it'll be nice, it'll be fun. It's only one lap. I couldn't even handle more than one lap. It's like a full 150 mile an hour. It was crazy. I mean, it was insanity. Holy shit, everyone. You got to do that, man. It's just incredible. The guy, Nick, who was driving the Acura NSX, who's a professional driver, we're doing 130 miles an hour. It looked like we're going to hit the wall, and then there's a left-hand turn. And we just full speed into the left-hand turn. I filmed it. I showed it to you. And it doesn't do it justice. It doesn't do it justice.
That was crazy. Oh my God. That was crazy, dude. That was crazy. What's this? Those are cool. Do you see all those? J Money, did you have a good time?
Yeah, that was great.
Hey, I think we had like 130 people there.
140.
140.
Our suite was
I met
packed.
like some of the coolest, Chip Ganassi, some of the CEOs there, Roger Penske. It was Zach. We saw McLaren there.
Yeah.
It was crazy. The people in our dude, Adam Carolla was in our booth. Adam Carolla from K-Rock was there. It was crazy. Scott Dixon, I saw him. Tatiana. But guys, and I'm a little messed up because I don't have the paper. I'm getting used to this. We had the BitNile car. Ernity was there. Turn on Green. Risk on. ToddAult.com. Renus VK ran the 20 car featuring Alzheimer's. Just basically, our thesis there is making Alzheimer's just a memory. We had a sponsorship on that car. We loved. Hey, Brett. Can you roll? Or he already rolled that clip, right? All right, good. I'm learning how to use this. Tomorrow begins our Bitcoin Weekly show. Special guest Greg Foss will be on the show. Jason will be traveling to one of our potentially new sites. So Jason will be busy off in back east somewhere.
Yep.
Working on Bitcoin mining. And we'll be discussing things like Bitcoin, the Risk On Conference. Bitcoin Weekly happens tomorrow. It starts tomorrow. It's our inaugural show. I'll be sad that Jason will be traveling. But, hey, business must continue. We're going to have the Risk On Conference May 12th through the 15th at the Paris Hotel in Las Vegas. Our lineup is huge. Bradley, Lee Steinberg, obviously the super agent, Charles Payne, Chris Wu, Greg Foss, Greg Reed. It's an amazing lineup. And Thomas Lee's going to be speaking at the event, too. He, along with Aaron Schock, the youngest congressman ever elected at the time. Go to riskonevents.com and get your tickets. By the way, tickets, I saw there's like finally a lot of people going, right? I mean,
yeah.
I'm pretty excited about that. Go to 1-844-4-RISK-ON, 1-844-4-RISK-ON. Brett, let's roll the clip, and then we'll get some stuff. I got to slow down. They told me.
It's hype.
Learning how to do it. If you have a business that's doing $1 million, $500,000, and you want to grow to 15, 20 million, these things are going to be available to you. We are launching a platform, the Risk On Business Platform.
This will make somebody's life about 1,000 times better.
You got a business and you want to expand your business, whether you're in the restaurant business, you're in technology, you manufacture something, whatever your business is, if you want to scale it, you want to be here. This is going to be a conference where you can learn something, meet people, and network. Limited slots are available. Head over to riskonevents.com. Hey, check out my YouTube channel. We got tons of people on our podcast. Some of the smartest people are showing up. Greg Foss's interview, by the way, did incredibly well. I love that guy. Check out our social media, Todd Ault. I'm all over the place. It's not hard to find me. But we're going to get a market update. We're going to do a little bit unusual today, and that is Jason and I are going to go through, if we could go to my screen real quick, let's launch this market update, and we'll cover, I got to be able to see this on my screen. And Jason, I don't know if you need it on your screen, but if you could bring up the press release for BitNile Holdings. Now,
yeah, let's do that.
Let me explain something to you guys. As we cover the press release for BitNile Holdings, the company is just a different company. Is there any way to possibly, right just for a second, split the screen between Jason and I? The company is a different company now. In December, when we borrowed all that money, we wanted to transform the company. We wanted to transform. And unfortunately, Jason wasn't able to go to Dubai, but Chris and I went to Dubai. Crypto Joe went there. And Jason, with your help, we really decided to get really big in mining, right? I mean, this has been brewing for years. Since I've ever known you, back to 2017,
Scary big.
We were brewing this. You know,
Yes.
we wanted to do something, right?
Yes.
And so what you see here is a culmination of a lot of investment. And what I'd like to say, if you read carefully my quote, now, I'm not allowed to give information out that I don't give to the public. So I'm going to follow only what's on the press release for regulatory reasons. I've got to make sure that I stay in compliance. So I'm going to answer everything by going through this real quickly here and saying, obviously, the first thing that pops out, top-line revenue grew 120% to $52.4 million, and we ended the year with assets of $490 million. Now, we filed in our 10K that we raised additional capital, so that's the ending balance at the end of 2021. But if you go to subsequent events in the 10K and add what we raised minus what we paid off, you can see that asset number, Jason, is going to be higher now.
It will be.
Substantially higher. I think we reported we raised 110 million at the time, give or take. So you could do your own math and your own conclusions to that, and I look forward to you doing that. Okay, so please do your own, come to your own conclusions. So when you see our report revenue of 52.4 million, up 120%, I said in this document we expect with Bitcoin mining and everything, our revenue to be 155 million plus in the current year we're in now. So if last year we ended with 52 million. We're thinking we're going to be almost 3 times higher than that, right, Jason?
Yeah, along with the margins, a big increase in the margins.
Right.
Projected.
Right. And if you see the projected margins, the actual margins for last year were substantial in the 50-plus range.
Sure.
And that is not with a full year of mining. Mining margins are very high for us. We have our own data center, and because of that, we can control a lot of our own cost, unlike not having your own data center. You have to get that white glove service, and we don't mind that. Actually, we're looking around now for additional services because we want to expand, and you can only build so fast, right?
Yep.
So when you go white glove, though, you don't handle the data center. You just handle the miners, and someone else does the mining for you.
Yeah.
So we expect significantly higher margins. There was some trading revenue that comes from the lender. That's very volatile. That was substantial. That added. Although we had a tough year end.
Well,
I mean, the year end was tough. Like
it was very tough.
December got pretty ugly, right? A market started selling off, and then into January, February. Well,
I mean, you're going to have that volatility with Alzheimer.
Right.
That's all.
We did an IPO at the end of the year.
Yep.
We raised a SPAC, 115 or 16 million, whatever plus dollars there. We ended the year with cash of 15.9 million, marketable securities of 40 million. Digital currency, Bitcoin, of 2.2 million, and then 84.9 million in investments. But here's the line I want to direct you to, and that is right there, 174 million in property, plant, and equipment. Dude, we put our money where our mouth is, right? We decided, hey, we're going to write real checks, right?
For
and
sure.
we're going to invest in miners, infrastructure, power, data center, the restructuring of the data center. We also bought a data center too. Remember, we closed on that last year, right? Working capital for the first time that I've ever seen in the company's history, 11.5 million positive, 490 million in assets, and we already covered that. Here's kind of the breakdown. Now, when you look at this, GWW, they made an acquisition of RELAC. So that added revenue. So there you can see that increase of 7 million. Turn on Green really affected by, we talked about this in the filing, just impossible to get parts and stuff. Just, what do you call it? Supply chain.
Supply chain was crippled.
Right, crippled. And so Turn on Green, though, doing, decent relative to other EV companies is still small. But obviously that's going to be spun off. They're expecting to grow. And so they're pretty excited about becoming their own public company. Now that's going to be dividend out. The plan is to send that all to the BitNile shareholders, so that'll just be a little stipend you get with a warrant. With a warrant,
yep.
right? So you get a share and a warrant. That's the proposed plan there. Cryptocurrency was non-existent in 2020, so we only had 1,000 miners towards the end of the year, and we did 3.4 million in revenue. So that started to crank. You see, lending was a parabolic from the previous year.
Yep.
And then other revenue, other categories like we had profitable. Loans, etc. So obviously an increase of 28.5. I keep emphasizing 155. Now that's not with all 20,600 miners installed. So that as you get all those installed through September and October, getting to that 155 million in revenue with the hotels and all that in there, you storm into 2023 with all those miners running at the end of the year. So 2023 could be huge. I'm excited about that. We've already talked about what it's going to be like. We've given forecasts of what it's like to have all those miners installed.
Yeah, Boats is commenting, hey, Boats, what's up? Hey, what about hydro miners? You guys have any plans to acquire any hydro miners?
Yeah, well, I would feel like that guy is a mole or something then.
Yeah, I know, right?
How does he know that?
Well, he's just speculating.
Okay, he's speculating.
Yeah.
Okay, well, we can't talk about what future miners we're buying or how many we're buying in the future. Obviously, as a Bitcoin company at BitNile, we would want to obviously expand our terahash over time. So obviously we restructured the company. Ault Alliance obviously is putting its assets over at BitNile Inc. We can cover more of this. We talked about gross margins being 54.5%. Research and development, $2 million they spent on Turn on Green.
Yeah.
G&A was a lot higher. We ramped up pretty hardcore.
Yep.
We've hired a lot of people. Data center hired a lot of people.
Yep.
Hired people at the hotels. Hired people here. Corporate office, accounting. You read my quote, and it stands for itself, right? It says we expect revenue to we further expect revenue to triple to more than 155 million in 2022, the year we're in now. Obviously, I don't know how many times I've said this. We said it in 10Ks and 8Ks and decks, and it says here, I remind the team, partners, and investors that we just completed 4 years of the 10-year plan. As we enter the 5th year, our goal remains the same, $1 billion in assets. Now, why would you want $1 billion in assets as a company? You want return on those assets, right? And if you can get like a 10% return, that's $100 million a year on $1 billion.
Sure.
If you can get a 20% return, that's $200 million a year on $1 billion.
Yep.
And obviously, we want that compounding effect of those assets. Now, some assets that don't return us any cash but have high growth, like Turn on Green, we're going to send those to the shareholders. So we're going to dividend that out, right? Because they need their own growth capital. They need to grow themselves.
Yep.
Other things that are slower growers, like defense, people already know that Gresham Worldwide is merging with Gigatronics. We'll own 70% of that company. MTIX is ramping back up again. Finally, we'll have more on that later. Now we are a large owner of MTIX. What people call the pasta maker, right? The pasta machine.
Yeah.
So I don't know that I have probably, I said this here, this is my quote, by the way. No one wrote this for me. We have planted a garden of opportunities over the last 4 years, and we expect to be able to harvest those crops while we continue to sow more seeds during the next few years.
That's
what do you think of that?
It's
you
coming.
Like that quote?
Yeah,
like that
it's
quote?
true.
I don't know that I've been in a better mood. Someone said I was in a bad mood. I'm in the best mood ever.
No, these guys just want to know, the execution of the plan. They want us to address the buyback. The
buyback's in place. Keep in mind we just ended the first quarter.
Yep.
So we were not able to do a lot of things today until we report the quarter. I'm in the quiet period. The beginning of the year is an unusual time where we put a 10b5 plan in place that ran out, as you see, out the AlphaBot shares, but we ran out of approval, and so we're not able to do anything until after the quarter's filed. So unfortunately, we're in a blackout period. Jason, let's get to some stocks, though, real quickly, and we'll come back to BitNile.
Sure. You want to take some questions?
Yeah, we'll take some questions, too. I saw a great thing from Ron Barron on Tesla the other day, and I don't know if everyone got a chance to saw that, but it was April 7th. It was pretty compelling. Obviously, wow, BitNile traded 126 million shares. Wow.
Big.
That's a lot of trading. Tesla was back above 1,000 in the aftermarket. I still like Icon Enterprises with that big dividend, although people think it's in danger of being cut. What about Bitcoin?
Bitcoin, little rally here, 40,700.
Well, that's a rally off the bottom.
We had some big movers today. Ader, which I alerted at 250, and it's over 6. Casa is Mikasa, C-A-S-A, Casa, big rip today. ENSV, a known oiler. Some of the oilers got late. You had a decision to make if you were up at 1 a.m. Pacific time, 4 a.m. Eastern time. When oil went red, you had to decide, okay, what am I going to focus on? Am I going to look at the oilers still? Am I going to look at CEI with news? Am I going to look at ENSV, which turned out to be a big move today? Or are you going to focus on, other stuff like shorting the overall market because it looks very weak? So you had some decisions to make when you woke up this morning.
I looked at Shopify. Shopify's down over 50%. Have you seen that?
Yeah.
SHOP?
I have.
It's down over 50%.
Yep.
I mean, it was, dude, I think it was $1,000 higher.
Do you think it's more likely that Shop goes up 20% from here or goes down 20% from here?
That's a good call. I don't know.
I know.
I'm a little perplexed with
people keep talking about buying the dip. I'm not a fan of that right now.
You're not buying the dip right now?
No.
We're accumulating Bitcoin every day now, and so I'm in a different world. I can't explain this to you, and I know you see it a little bit, but like I'm looking at being a little more picky.
You have to be.
We're mining Bitcoin you've I think you brought over what close to. I don't want to get this wrong, but I think you brought over close to 5,000 machines so far.
Yeah, it's 4754.
Right, but then the next 2,300 are coming.
We'll have the May 1st report.
Right.
Yeah.
Okay. So that would put us closer to what 7,000. Mm-hmm. Right. So 7,000 machines you're install. I mean, guys, that's a lot of work to install those machines. But my point is, if you get to the end of the month with 7,000 machines and you have to get to 20,600, you got a lot of heavy lifting. And so what I'm trying to say is that I'm sort of focused on the fact you saw that thing from Pangaea.
Yep.
MTIX won an award and got a licensing deal with Pangaea. And by the way, that's a real company. Pangaea is the real deal. That's a full ESG play. They are making some amazing clothing.
Oh, yeah.
So MTIX is back in the mix. You've got Turn On Green waiting for that audit, right? That's going to be a special dividend.
Yep.
You got Gresham Worldwide merging, right? You got Alzamend that already said they picked a second spot for their phase 2. All these are owned by BitNile Holdings.
Those are all the seeds we planted.
The seeds, right. Then you got Mullen, which we just, oh my God, that was just a home run.
Yep.
Very happy with that transaction. You got AdTech later in the year for the company with for glaucoma.
Oh, yeah, that's
we got a
right.
big chunk of AdTech.
I forgot about that.
So that's later on in the year.
Yep.
MTIX is a sleeper because everyone's forgot about it, but they think we have forgot about it. We haven't forgot about MTIX.
No, not at all.
You got a lender making loans. I saw one of those big loans we made to a private company got paid back. Mm-hmm. So I'm like, I just don't know that I don't know that I've ever been more pleased with a 10K in my life. Now, we filed it with 2 hours to go, and I was in the Caymans with our CEO and our general counsel. We were meeting with all those insurance companies. Boy, that was a thrill. Ever met with a bunch of insurance companies?
That sounds pretty interesting.
Oh my God. But the dinners were great. But Ken and the team, I'm very proud of the team. Yeah, very proud of the team.
I'm excited.
And I was thrilled about what happened in Long Beach and all the potential partnerships. I mean, BitNile, Skylar, you're there. You're seeing all the people in the booth. You're seeing all the people coming to see us. Jason, you're there too. I mean, what do you think about what's happening there? That guy involved in Bitcoin from the beginning stages, I don't want to say his name.
Starts with an F.
Yeah, he was there.
I talked to him.
So this is crazy. I mean, what are you thinking?
We've got a lot of room to grow. There's always opportunities when we go to the races. We meet so many people.
The marketing budget
there's
paying
so
off.
many people there.
Yeah. What'd you say?
There's so many people there. I mean, I met a lot of people that just knew about BitNile, and I was like, what? Never even heard of them. And the crowd, the energy, there's everyone's just happy to be there at the races. Everyone wants to be there and they want to make connections. That's why they're there.
George and what? Hi,
it's
Todd.
pretty
What is your
cool.
price target for Nile? What the kind of question is
I
that?
can't talk about a price target. Yeah, I saw that. I know everyone saw that we raised capital using the ATM. But when you have a lien on your assets, so think about this, okay?
All right, wait, time out. Let's get into it. These guys want to know. Hey, 268 million shares.
Let's talk about this.
Let's get into
Let's
it.
talk about it for a second.
Here you go, all 445 of you. Ready? Here we go.
Okay, let's talk about it.
All right, let's go.
Okay. What would you do if you change the name, change the symbol, spend over 160 million on miners?
Correct.
Focus the core business.
Yes.
Buy cash producing assets.
We did.
We didn't spend it on cheeseburgers. You don't just eat them and they're gone.
No, you're eating less of those.
Yeah, a lot less. So we spent it on real assets, as you can see. And then the market tanks. The stock goes from 260, where we were buying it. We raised 200 million at 381.
Right.
And the market decides to sell it off down, and we kind of have no choice, right? I mean, I'm only commenting on, I'm one member of a board of 7. Mm-hmm. I am the executive chairman. There is a CEO. There is a president. I'm one vote. They all think that somehow, I'm the only person that makes a decision here. And, of course, Bitcoin fell from 69,000 to 32,000 during that time frame. The market sells off.
Right.
And you have a senior lender with a lien on all your assets. And we didn't want to use the ATM. I didn't want to. Look at the 10K. We didn't want to use it. But we made a decision that being bigger,
it's obvious you
with
don't want to
cash
use it.
flow,
You don't want to use it. You're buying shares at $2.
Yeah, I know. If you make a decision that you want to make sure the company can, in the future, be a cash flow producing asset.
Yeah.
And you see that we bought hotels that produce cash. We bought them. We underwrote them great, in my opinion. We bought property. We are diversified there. That's what we told people we're going to do. And we're now going to start harvesting some of that stuff we put together. We're creating, Bitcoin's coming. But remember, when you want to enter the Bitcoin space,
you got it.
It's an upfront check.
No, here's
it's
the thing.
You don't just go,
No.
I want to be in Bitcoin. Oh, he's a Bitcoin miner.
You
got to look at some of these Bitcoin miners that only have 1,000. They have like market caps bigger than us. They have like 2,000 machines, right? 5,000 machines.
Yep.
When you write a check, you got to wait for delivery. Mm-hmm. And we're past that now. They're being delivered in big time, right? $2,300 a month.
If you go back and look at Mara and Riot and how they raised capital and how they deployed miners, and look at the chart when they were 50 cents to $1, and now look at the chart. I mean, their model has been successful overall, in my opinion, if you look at it.
Sure.
And Weinstone was purchased by Riot in Texas. That's a huge facility. We own a huge facility.
We just made a decision that we want to control our own destiny. We want to be in Bitcoin mining.
Yes.
And we want to take the assets we've talked about in that press release. If you read it very carefully, it says here.
Ollie's getting all sideways again. Ollie, I thought you were just being
hold on
fair
a second.
and balanced.
It says here. Hold on a second here.
Whatever, Ollie's out of control again. Sorry,
So
Ollie.
it says here, we expect that a few of our subsidiaries will become public companies themselves. We expect that a few of our subsidiaries will become public companies ourselves.
Yep.
And I don't understand why the one great thing about America, we forget we don't live in Russia, where they'll just poison you if you don't like what people are saying. We don't live in the Ukraine, where someone's just trying to tell us what to do. We live in America, and you can vote with your dollars. Some people have voted. Clearly, the stock is down. We're not happy with that, right?
No, we're not happy.
Right. So we appreciate the people who are staying with us, but I've been outlining it for a long time, guys, that we're going to grow a holding company. It's not been like this isn't new news to anybody that's reading our filings.
You can look at it, and you can see that traditional financing in real estate with initial investment.
Right. We got traditional financing with the hotels.
Yeah,
we got that.
Yeah.
But as a small company, one of the hardest things to do, especially with a complicated balance sheet, is to get financing.
It is.
Yeah. And we were not able in a negative Bitcoin environment, because, by the way, Bitcoin is down from October. We're not able to get what we wanted as quickly as we needed. And so, therefore...
Jeez.
Well, I mean, it sucks. I got diluted down a little bit myself. I'm not happy with it.
Oh, I'm diluted down too.
Yeah, but we are a stronger company for it.
Yeah.
And we appreciate everyone's support. I hope that we've answered the questions for people.
Well, there's a couple other questions.
What are they?
So when do you expect to finish the current ATM shelf? What are they saying here?
Wow, there's so many questions. Wow.
Why
are you short selling? Mullen, you can't short sell something you already own. If you sell something, you're not short selling it if you sell it. And if you don't own it, then you sell it, then you're selling it short.
Okay, Ollie, I'm going to address this. Ollie, it's
What's
all
Ollie
good,
saying?
but when the float gets this big, you put us at risk of reverse split. No, we don't, Ollie. No, we don't.
There's plenty of companies out there that have large...
Ollie, we're going to grow...
What's Hive have?
Dude, just take a look at HUD 8 and Hive.
What's Hive have?
Hive has 400 million shares outstanding.
We have a $50 million buyback in place that we can use once we're past the quiet period.
Yeah, we do.
There's a lot of things we can do.
Yeah.
A lot of levers we can pull.
No.
I don't know with... So let's go back to this for a second. If you have $490 million in assets at the end of 12/31,
right,
and then you raise the money in 2022, you have to add additionally to the asset base minus the debt we paid off. So the number will be bigger, not smaller, because we raised money. And don't forget, now we're finally producing Bitcoin.
We have options too,
and we, of course,
we have options.
Yeah, we have lots of options.
We have a lot of we do
a lot of levers you can pull.
Current market cap's 187 million.
The quiet period ends when we file the 2 days after we file the first 10Q.
Yeah.
The 10Q is due 45 days from March 31st.
Right.
So it's due in about 25 days or so. Right?
Yes.
Anyways, a lot of questions. A lot of assets for sure.
I mean,
I hope I feel weird because I wasn't able to answer everyone's questions. But if you look at the Ascendient report, I thought it was decent. Mm-hmm. I think they put a 625 target on it. We're not endorsing that.
No.
And I'm sure we're going to eventually hear from Spartan. They put an $8 target on it, but they saw the number of shares we issued. So yeah, I wouldn't be surprised if they make adjustments.
I wouldn't be surprised. This is all speculation. Let me preface this. I wouldn't be surprised if we keep executing the plan. I would keep working hard, sleeping very limited, and we get to $1 billion market cap at $3 and change. That's speculation.
I thought Ollie Trade God was unblocked already. I don't know why I keep saying that.
I mean, you guys realize we're working on the plan. We're sticking to the plan, and
Yeah,
that's all.
I emphasize one thing, and let's cut the questions for a second. Let me explain it to you this way. When you look at a cash producing asset, you want to look and see, when we raised all the money, yes, it was dilutive. You want to look and see, what does the asset produce cash-wise down the road?
Correct.
Right? What now you start seeing the lender has been producing cash. Now you're seeing Bitcoin being productive because we have big margins there. We put out a schedule of what we would mine theoretically based on difficulty and total Bitcoin price. I think you just have to do the math and ask yourself, what kind of rate of return would you be comfortable with once we're done with all the capital raising, et cetera?
Yeah.
And I'm just, we're effectively debt free, other than the debt hotel for the debt, the hotel for hotel debt, and that's non-recourse.
Right.
Right. So we're effectively at the parent company debt free. We have cash. We're very comfortable. We're generating Bitcoin.
Very comfortable.
We're generating money. Where the loans are working. The lenders underway. So, by the way, for those of you who think I'm a little uncomfortable today, it's because I have a teleprompter now.
We can,
and this teleprompter thing is just throwing me off. I'm used to having a piece of paper and looking at it.
With the Bitcoin hodl, you can decide to liquidate the Bitcoin hodl. You could use it to do buybacks. You
could do lots of things. Yeah,
you could do lots of things.
Anyways, did Mullen actually file their? Did they get cleared? Were they effective today? Can you look on the SEC website?
I think they did. Yeah, I think they did.
Mullen was under pressure today. Mullen was under a lot of pressure.
Yeah.
I mean, obviously, if the registration statement went effective, but Mullen, when we met the guy in Long Beach, he was basically saying he tested the battery, so I was quite comfortable with what he had to say.
Yeah, that was fine.
Yeah.
He was at the track though; it was kind of loud.
Yeah, it was pretty loud.
He was at Long Beach.
Yeah, 5 million in assets is when we took over. That was late 2016. And the company was being delisted. It was in the process of being delisted. So I'm pretty comfortable that we've sort of turned the corner now.
Yeah, 253 million shares of common stock.
Yeah.
Todd,
when can you personally buy more BitNile shares? I can buy right after the 10Q is filed. And rest assured, once the 10K is filed, as you know, I will be buying more shares. That's not inside information.
No, I know.
I've been buying for years. And eventually, if you read, let's go back to the press release one last time. This should be helpful, and then we'll move on to greener pastures. Greener pastures being other topics other than, this is a show about risk, not a show about BitNile.
J for profit. We got the 2,300 miners for March. April is en route. We're working on April. Is that your question?
If you read my quote, let's try to read it one more time, because I wrote it on purpose. Okay, it says here, as we enter the 5th year of a 10-year plan, we expect to achieve positive cash flow from operations as we grow margins and achieve scale. At scale, we expect to fund our growth initiatives from internally generated cash, free cash flow, and become far less reliant on raising capital.
That's correct.
Okay. Please read that. I mean, I'm trying to send you guys a signal.
Yeah.
We're very comfortable right now.
KG 2.24 million terahash, 2.24 exahash.
Yeah.
KG, that's the expected
Read the
hash
quote,
rate.
read the press release. Let's go to the markets real quick, because really, honestly, I do want to cover what I think of some of the market conditions. Can you do me a favor? I want you to cover this Jack Dorsey thing.
Jay, we're on schedule.
Can you go to my screen real quick? What did you make of what Jack Dorsey said about Twitter? By the way, for full disclosure, Alt Alpha is long Twitter.
Did you pull Dorsey about the board?
Yeah.
Consistently been the dysfunction of the company.
Right.
Ooh, that's pretty strong.
He says, former CEO Jack Dorsey criticized the board in a series of tweets on Sunday. The board is currently considering a $43 billion bid from Elon Musk to take it private. Dorsey still sits on the board, but has plans to leave once this term expires in the 2022 shareholder meeting in late May. He said basically they're dysfunctional.
For sure. It's
So that was not a ringing endorsement of the board of Twitter. I just wonder what you thought of that. I mean, that's kind of unheard of, right? A sitting board member.
Is he off the board?
What?
Did Dorsey step down from the board?
He steps down in May.
Okay, May. Okay.
Right.
Yeah, so he's giving him the business now that he's stepping away. You know, he's looking back. You know, but he's directly responsible for Twitter for some time. It's funny how he's trying to disengage from Twitter. You know, what's he doing at Block? How's Block doing? Let me look at Block. I'm just curious.
Well, he's pretty hardcore there.
Yeah,
I went to the Caymans where they still require you to wear a mask.
Really?
Yeah, and you have to. This is the strangest thing. So I was in the hotel, the Marriott, and I just was at like where the hostess was, and I only had to walk like 5 feet for dinner, and they made me put a mask on to walk the 5 feet.
Nice.
And then I could
COVID
take it
will
off.
get you. Remember, not so much here.
COVID will get you on the walk over.
Yeah, yeah. That was like the board with Tommy Boy when he smashes him.
Exactly.
Hey, here's the chart for Block. Here you go, Mr. Dorsey. Dorsey rolls in, Block's 145. What are we at now? 119. Okay.
I saw the Rivian truck, by the way.
It's
pretty cool.
I don't like the looks of that one.
No?
Nah.
It's got storage everywhere. It's a very interesting thing. If the batteries work, it's a pretty interesting. The Rivian truck is pretty cool.
What do we got here? Jason used to work at FedEx. UPS. I worked at UPS.
You worked at UPS, right?
Yeah, I was an ops manager there. I had a pretty cool job in Raleigh, North Carolina. It was fun. My first job away from baseball. So they're saying logistically we got it covered because I'm taking care of all the shipments from overseas.
Well, that's what you do, right?
Dude, let me just say it's pretty challenging.
It's a big job.
Yeah.
Any other stocks you want to cover real quick?
I wanted to look at ENSV. They handle they're in the oil and gas space. Let's take a look at the chart here.
And I do want to bring up something to your attention before we look at the chart.
Sure.
Can you just hold on 1 second?
Yeah, go ahead.
So I'm concerned about, I keep hearing this thing about a global food shortage.
Yes.
Right. You've been telling me for months that this is something that seems like it's headed in that direction.
It is.
And then Janet Yellen 4 hours ago said the following, if you go to my screen real quick. U.S. Treasury Secretary to meet with top finance ministers to address the global food crisis.
Yeah. Well,
I mean, is it
15%.
happening here?
It will. 15% of the global wheat is coming out of Ukraine and Russia, and the planting season was just going on during the war. Mm-hmm. So you're missing out on all of that harvest. You've got supply chain, huge inflation. Companies are shrinking the product size and increasing the price. They're hitting you on both sides.
Right.
So, like for example, you get like a 12-ounce container of oatmeal. They raise the price 40 cents and they reduce the package size 20%. So consumers aren't even realizing that. A good forum to check it out is on Reddit on Wall Street Silver, where they look at commodities and they always track stuff of how inflation is basically everywhere. So you might not see it. You might realize that the product is, is the same size, but it's not. They're shrinking the product. They're raising the price.
Well, this brings up the idea that corn prices have hit a 9-year high here.
Yeah, corn is out of control.
Right.
Now you've got the avian flu. So
I'm just trying to say,
there.
I wonder how this thing breaks, by the way.
Well,
because it goes back to what I was saying about Ron Barron. There's a really interesting CNBC 23-minute video on Ron Barron, and I don't know if it's possible. I'm gonna provide the link. Now, by the way, this is an investor who I really like a lot, and he has on April 7th. He had I want to see if it is, okay, scroll down here. Let me see if I can pull it up. I will find it and see if I can give it to Christy to post in the link. But it was a full description. It was a 23-minute interview with Ron Barron, in which he talks about inflation is effectively, the price of everything you want to buy is effectively doubled every 14 years, right? Mm-hmm. The market's doubled every 11 years, and he's trying to double everything every 5 years, right? So
right.
If you look at, because I know people, where am I going with this? Because I'm going to go to my screen real quick and say, let's pull up Bitcoin for a second. 40,691. Not a perfect asset yet in the sense of correlation.
No.
But actually, if you get away from this myopic view, this short-term view of Bitcoin, and you say, but let's look at it over the last, say, 5 years, or in the case of a couple years, it's actually been a great hedge, right? So
yeah,
what I'm trying to say is that people are paying attention to correlation today versus correlation now. By the way, did gold break $2,000 a coin?
Nope, it tickled it. It was
2,000
close.
ounces, very
yeah,
close,
about 1995.
Right. So I got to be honest with you. I don't know that I've ever been more comfortable. What's my hypothesis? I don't know that I've ever been more comfortable that Bitcoin continues its march towards acceptance from people.
For sure.
Right?
Yeah.
And when we were at Long Beach, we saw Eternity. Now, Skylar, you said when you were there, you saw that Eternity was killing it. Tons of people signing up for Eternity.
Oh yeah, they were like packed full. We would stop by to talk to them, and they would talk to us for like a minute, and then they're like, okay, we gotta go. We gotta get back to this.
Really?
They were giving out. I saw people wearing shirts
They
on
were
the inside. Yeah,
buried.
they were killing it.
And
It
they
was
had
awesome
free
to
Bitcoin
see.
thing everywhere where you could sign up for an
I
account.
did see that.
It was everywhere. I mean, and I saw them like they were announced. Eternity was I saw them everywhere. I was just really impressed with what they're doing there. And I don't know if you guys have signed up for this, but when you go to the conference, we're going to give you $100 of Bitcoin when you sign up for an Eternity account. There's actually a little cool thing that we're going to give you when you get to the conference. Speaking of the conference, Skyla,
Yeah.
let's tie the joke into the conference.
Oh.
But
I'm just
I
kidding. You got a
have
joke?
Okay, so I did a rabbit joke because it was Easter. So what do you call a line of rabbits jumping backwards?
What do you call a line of rabbits jumping backwards?
A receding hairline.
Ah, that's funny. I thought that was funny. That's a tribute to
good.
Louisiana. You know what that is, right?
Shotgun blast.
Hey, don't forget to buy your tickets to the RiskOn conference. Go to riskonevents.com or call 1-844-4RiskOn, 1-844-4RiskOn. Don't forget to check out my podcast. Jason, you're on your way to check out...
I'm going east.
East. You are out there scouring the earth for more power.
East.
More power!
I like hydropower, nuclear power,
Hydro,
mission-free power.
nuclear. By the way, are we getting smaller in Bitcoin or bigger?
We're growing Bitcoin until we have Bitcoin coming out of our eyeballs.
Yes, more Bitcoin. We are pleased to say that Greg Reed will join us on the show on Wednesday with the Risk On. He is Greg Reed, dude. This guy is he's like Mr. Napoleon Hill. I like Greg, and I'm excited to see Greg on the show. He's got a lot of followers. He runs the Secret Knock conference, which I spoke at. And that's where I met Carol Baskin. That was
So random.
To this day, it's the most
even...
random thing ever that I met that girl from Tiger King. And I asked her, I said, wow, you look really familiar to me. What's your name? She said, Carol. I said, Carol, how do I know you? Well, I'm Carol Baskin. I was like,
Were you basking
I
in
was
the...
speechless. I was completely speechless.
Hi.
I know that listen, I feel bad because I think people do. The SEC filings are really all we are allowed to go by. And if you guys really think about it, all you bashing me, wanting to bash me, and you can, free country, you're free to do that. But I ask you to point out to me where you get to see the CEO or the chairman, the founder of the company, 3 days a week, online live. Just show me where that's at.
Mm-hmm.
Where is that? So I'm out there. I'm transparent. Read the filings, guys. We have a plan. We've laid it out. We're now in the 5th year of that 10-year plan. I'm not going to stop building what I'm building just because you don't like me. If you don't like me, you can simply choose not to be with me. And that I'm not trying to be negative, but I realize that I'm going to address that by just saying that. It is what it is. I apologize to everybody who thinks that it's not fair, but we're very open with what we do.
One more thing. Boats has a question. Boats, I like Boats. Boats, give us your question. If you got it.
I was trying to find it.
Come on, Boats.
I don't apologize. I mean, I am sympathetic that it's hard to understand when you read all these filings what's going on, but we try to be as transparent as we can, and I don't know another CEO that's more available than myself.
SPAC Jesus is out there, but he's not out there like we are.
Yeah, no. And you got Michael Saylor out there, but he's just talking Bitcoin.
Correct.
And he has one company. We have a bunch,
Yeah.
right? But I love Michael.
Boats,
What's
the
the
ship
question
is
from
the
Boats?
ship is sinking. Boats, what's going on? We're taking on water here. Boats. No,
What's going on?
I don't know. Everybody said Boats had a question.
Hey, congratulations to Connor Daly for doing great. I thought he did great at the Long Beach Grand Prix. I love Renus. I love his family. I had a great time to meet them. He finished 13th.
That
in the
was great.
Ulsman car.
At the end of the race, Renus was trying hard to get to Connor.
Oh, he was trying. I could see that.
That was
It
great.
was a battle.
Yeah.
And then Sato crashed right there, like on the second. You
There
know,
was a
no one
lot
li-
of crashes. So many
not-
people were out.
Jimmy Johnson broke his wrist.
and he
bone in his
raced
wrist.
with it.
Yeah, nobody likes to see us end on a yellow. But for all of you who attended the Long Beach Grand Prix, for all of you who are helping BitNile, for all of you who are supportive of BitNile, we are super grateful. We got a lot of brands right now coming out. Gresham Worldwide,
Yeah.
Turn On
It's a
Green,
lot of stuff going on.
MTIX, The Lender. We got a lot going on, man.
Machines flying.
Machines
We're
flying.
just running 24/7.
Yeah.
That's all.
I know. I got to be honest with you guys. I'm going to leave you on this note. I am thrilled about where BitNile is. I've never been happier.
I'm more excited than
with
ever.
the team. I am more excited than ever, and I think Bitcoin's going to go higher. So,
Yep.
Don't forget the new Bitcoin Weekly show. It's going to start tomorrow. While Jason is in the air, we're going to be on the air with Greg Foss, and so everybody. We'll check out the Risk On Business Conference that's happening. We'll be discussing Bitcoin. And by the way, it is a Bitcoin-focused show.
Great.
And it's all about Bitcoin.
Marcus Trader. There it is. Okay, Marcus. Regarding Bitcoin hodling or diversification or anything, we have flexibility with Bitcoin.
Yeah, but if you look at our 10K, we reported what we held at the end of the year.
Yeah.
We'll be giving you an update on what we're doing with Bitcoin when we file our 10K or 10Q, which will be sometime in May. And for those of you out there who watch this show, thank you so much. Thanks to everyone who attended Long Beach Grand Prix. Christy, our producer, was there. Willie, his wife, was there. She actually is actually helping out too. Douglas Gens, the CTO, was there. Crypto Joe was there. Skyla, it was incredible. I don't know why Nick and Brett weren't there, but it was amazing. And up next is Alabama. I will be in Alabama with the BitNile car. That's at Barber.
Yeah, Barber
Yeah.
Motorsports.
Birmingham.
Park.
Yeah, it's. Hey, Skylar, are you going?
No.
Where are you going to
Sadly.
be?
I'm going to be at Stagecoach.
Hey, look. That finishes up that right there.
Oh, nice. I'm going
Yeah.
to use that.
That's 12 pallets.
Oh, nice.
Yeah.
You guys, we're really thrilled if you're a shareholder of Nile. Thank you so much for being supportive. I understand it's been a volatile ride, and the show continues with more than $500 million in assets, everybody. What's up?
I'll tell you after the show.
Okay. Hey, everybody, we'll see you tomorrow, or we'll see you tomorrow on Bitcoin Weekly. Risk on, everybody. Take care. Whatever your business is, if you want to scale it, you want to be here, we're going to have lots of other people there that have actually built businesses.
This will make somebody's life about 1,000 times better.
You got a business and you want to expand your business, whether you're in the restaurant business, you're in technology, whatever your business is, if you want to scale it, you want to be here. This is going to be a conference where you can learn something, meet people, and network. Limited slots are available. Head over to ToddAult.com and register today.